Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Ethereal Anomaly and welcome to a game called Rise of Nations, where different nations across the world start to fight each other to be the most dominant. Basically, World War III. So when you first start in the game, you're going to be greeted with a menu screen where you can join a different server, create your own server, or quick join a server. You're just going to click, do whatever you want, and then eventually you'll be greeted with a screen like this, where you'll be greeted with a world with different colors, and also basically a UI on the bottom left and on the bottom right, where you can select different types of countries. If I select, I'm going to select Nigeria for the sake of this video. On the bottom right, whatever country you selected, it'll show the flag, the name, the population, the manpower, the experience gain modifier, and experience required. Population, basically how many people in your city, and maximum manpower is how much manpower you can have all at once. XP gain modifier is how much experience you'll gain, and your experience will show on the top left here. And experience modifier required, only 3 require experience, which is the United States of America, India, and China. Otherwise known as the North American Union, Moiwa Empire, and the Qing Dynasty. Alright, so I'm going to pick Nigeria. I'm going to click play. You're going to be greeted with this. Click on help on the top of it. It's not really important to you right now. And then you'll be greeted with this. It'll say how many troops you have on the bottom right, and all that good stuff. I'm going to explain the UI first. Alright, so abandoned country, it'll say if you ever want to change countries, you can do that. You click abandoned country and it'll be brought back to the screen. If you click experience, you don't click experience, it'll show your experience here. I have 147,000. You get experience through conquering other countries and annexing cities, annexing nations. If you click help, this will just bring that back. There's a date and a year here, and the vote to restart, which you can click and you can vote to restart. On here, you have the flag and the name, Nigeria. You also have the amount of money you have with treasury, and if you hover over it, it'll say your income, your expenses, and your balance. My income is 1.8 million. My expenses are 440,000. So overall, I get 1.3 million. My population, that's how many people in my city. The manpower is basically how much manpower I have, how much of the population is recruitable into my military. The troops and the tanks and the ships and aircraft, I'll also show how many of those types of units I have. I have 220,000 troops here and here, 210,000 divisions, which are what I get by default, called the Home Guard. So if I click here in the bottom left, actually before that, I'm going to show you the map real quick. If you click political, this is where you start. It will show different colors of different nations, and just so you can help distinguish them a little bit. Diplomatic, this will show your state and the color of nations which you were allies with, which I have no allies as of current, but I am going to try to ally with Russia right now. So to ally a city, you hover over a city in which is inside of the country that you want to ally with. You click it, you go here, you click this little flag here, and you click form alliance, send, and then eventually Russia will respond back whether or not they want to accept it. Russia has accepted our offer of an alliance. That means they can't attack you, and if they want to, they have to break ties, and then you'll be in truce for about a year, and then they can finally start to justify a war, casus belli, against you, which I'll explain all out later. And so if I click diplomatic, it should show. It does not show Russia. I was completely wrong. Okay, terrain. If you click terrain, it'll show little blotches. When it's all white, that means there is no type of really significant terrain. Green, it'll say hilly. This will slow down the speed of any ground units. The yellow is semi-mountainous. This will slow down your units even further than hilly would, and mountainous is just a maximum, and your troops will go slowest in these points. So you click political again, and we're back here, and this entire thing is my territory. So if I click here on my little flag, Nigeria, it will show different little things. If I click country here, I'll say my country view, the Nigeria ruler is me, Ethereal Anomaly. Unite Africa, these are decisions. Uniting Africa, unite the Gold Coast. Basically, that'll give you more experience and change your name here. If you take all the certain different cities Like if you take every African city, you can click it, and I think it'll give you like the African Union or something. If you get Knights Gold Coast, it'll change your name to the Gold Coast, and you own like all the Nigeria cities, Ghana cities, Benin, all that good stuff. Also, show the list here, and you must not be in a war. Ideologies and conscription laws are kind of more important. They're very important actually. If you click limited, most people click limited, you get 5% recruitable population, but tax revenue is a bit less and training time is a bit more. It says that it requires 200 political power. If you saw, my political power down here went down by 200. So war exhaustion is basically when you fight big wars for a long time, your war exhaustion will increase, and that'll make your country and government more unstable, making it harder to run and make it more risky that other countries can start to rebel, and your country will just overall get destroyed. It's a bad thing, don't let it happen. Stability, this is basically how stable your government is. If it's unstable, it'll decrease your tax income, it'll just make everything worse, and again, it will make rebels more trying to take back countries that you may have taken over. So ideologies, most people pick democracy or fascism. I'm going to try to go with democracy. So in order to do that, you need to click liberalism first, which will take 250 political power, and then click democracy, and it'll take 500 political power. And I'll say here on the buffs and debuffs of picking democracy, which is justification time is increased, with a debuff, tax income is like over doubled, which is a great buff, and it will also decrease stability when you change your ideologies, because basically your country is like, what the hell are you doing? And they'll get confused. Diplomacy, this will show whatever the latest country that you clicked and their allies or truces in their wars. To view your own, you want to click on the bottom right, view own country. It'll say my allies and my rivals and wars and truces. My allies are Russia, as you saw before. And I can release a country if I took one over and I wanted to release one. Next is, we'll go back to this actually. View on country, already did that. Economy, basically this will say your income and your expenses. It'll show where all this is happening. Here it'll show where your income's coming from. Here it shows where your expenses are coming from. And here it'll show your total expenses and your total income and your total balance. Government spending will help decrease, it'll help bubble suppression and help make stability better. Research spending will give you more research power generation. So if I went here 0.6, and it'll take more expenses though, and take more cash, research spending, government spending. So I'm going to go back to none. Research power is when you click technology, it'll be good with this. Begin military research, it establishes the military research arm. And then from there, once you get enough research power down here, you can start upgrading your infantry and different units like infantry, naval, air, and eventually you can get the tank and so on. To declare war on another country, say I want to declare war on Benin. I click the city in which resides in Benin, and I'll be greeted with this. I want to click their flag here and justify war goal. Once I click this, casus belli, you click conquest, or sometimes you click subjugate if you wanted to make them just do whatever you want. Justify war, and then it'll say on the bottom right when it will be justified. And when it is justified, you can go here, click here, declare war, and the conquest will be here. And you can click it and declare it. Next is troops. You click to make troops, you gotta go ahead and click a city. Usually I like to use capitals just for efficiency, because I have more population in it. To make units, you click here, units, and then I'll give you a bunch of different units in which you can build. My balance is pretty high, so I'm going to make another 110,000 unit division, such as these two. In order to do that, you want to click this 11 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, I did that because infantry gets 10,000 per click, as I'll show when it's finished right here, 10,000. Tanks, I believe, get 100 per click, anti-aircraft get 10, and artillery, I believe, also get 10. And these, all the planes get 1, and all the naval get 1. So in order to move your troops, you want to click them, and you'll get all these little stuff. You move it, you click there, click where you want it to go, and then they'll start moving there. Entrenchment is basically how long they stay in one place. It'll give them a combat modifier from terrain. It'll slowly increase until eventually they just get 2 times their combat modifier. Here we have 400 reading to go with War of Benin, which I'll say excellent. Go ahead, here it'll show the total experience that your army has, that your division has, and the more experience, the more tank/defense bonus. Auto capture, if you go to war with, say, Benin, which I'm going to move them closer to. If you auto capture it, you click it, and it'll say Benin over here. Start training. This will start increasing the experience slowly, but also will cost a lot of cash to train troops. Disband will get rid of them. Form line will form a defensive line when you make a certain line for them to go to, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. But first, to deselect your troops, you want to press Z or Z, and then you can deselect them. If you want to select multiple troops, you want to scroll over, and it will select all your troops. Just select multiple cities, you want to hold Control, and go drag your mouse over. Yeah. If it doesn't work the first time, just press Control again, because that might be bugged a bit, and then it'll select all the cities that you want, in which you can mass make units a lot easier, a lot faster. So here, I'm going to go ahead to declare war with the country, click the city, click the flag, click declare war, and then you can declare war while clicking conquest, or the casus belli that you chose. It'll say now we're at war, and a little flag will come up here. So now, to make them auto capture, say I want these 2 guys to start auto capturing Benin, just drag them over, auto capture Benin, and then your troops will slowly start moving and taking over their cities. Most countries will have home guards. When your soldiers start taking the capital of whatever country you're trying to take, it'll say we've taken the capital of country Benin. At this point, their manpower increases and crippled. That means that they're not really going to get any reinforcements, and basically it's going to be much easier for you. But for AI cities like this, which you can tell for the AI by clicking this, and I'll say the ruler Benin AI, they're very, very easy to capture because they don't really fight back. They don't really have any sort of defenses besides maybe 50,000 troops or so, depending on the size of the country. If your troops need to go across water, this little blue thing will show up, and that's basically them preparing the boat, and they'll start going across the sea, and which they need to. To build boats, you do need to get one with a little anchor icon on top, meaning that they have a dock, usually on the edge of the ocean, like this. Units, and you can make your different naval units, which are all usually very expensive. Yeah, they're mostly pretty expensive. Alright, now when your units stop doing anything, that usually means that it's taken over completely. If you take over the entire country, then you can go here, click Nigeria, Benin Annexation War, negotiate terms, and then you can annex city, occupy domain operations, and do all that. You can't click this unless your casus belli was to subjugate them. So Benin peace terms. Benin will give all cities occupied by us, will get 20% of their income as war reparations, and receive 75% of Benin's treasury. Send the terms, and then they have to accept it because we took everything over. So then you gain their treasury and their war reparations. Good. So that seems to pretty much be it, except a line. I haven't showed you to do that. Form line, click one unit, you hold shift, and you can kind of make a point in which you can make a good old line, and then you can form line, and they'll separate into little different tiny divisions, and then they'll make a little defensive line for you. So that's all I have for you for now. I hope you guys can enjoy the game. I hope you guys have fun, and I hope this kind of helped you get a more basic understanding of it. If you have any questions, if you comment it or ask me, whether it's on Discord, I am in the Rise Nation's Discord as Ethereal Anomaly, same thing as here. Ask me questions and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability for you, to the best of my knowledge, alright? So that's all I have, and have fun and happy war.